In this video, I'll be diving a little deeper into bifocals and progressives, so let's go ahead and get started. As I've mentioned in my best practices article, Bifocals and Progressives in XR, when designing or assessing solutions in XR, you need to ensure that people who wear corrective lenses are able to have a quality experience as well. This includes people who wear reading glasses, bifocals, or progressive lenses. Not all headsets on the market allow room for prescription glasses, so when you're evaluating solutions for your project or your clients, it's important to look at both the design of the experience and the design of the physical headset. If the headset doesn't allow room for glasses, the user may be losing either near or far sight, especially with mixed reality. After extended use, people needing bifocals, reading glasses, or progressives may experience eye strain, headaches, and possibly migraines. One of the first things people say when I mention needing glasses to see in a headset is that you can just wear contacts. People who wear contact lenses should be fine, and that would be an ideal solution. However, keep in mind that not everyone's able to wear contact lenses for multiple reasons. Custom prescription lenses are available, but they're costly for the individual and impractical for shared devices. Remember that those of us who need those prescription lenses also have to pay for our everyday eyeglasses. Depending on the medical condition, many people need prescriptions updated more frequently than once a year, and it's not sustainable to have to buy new prescription lenses for each XR headset in addition to everyday glasses each time the prescription changes. With VR, people are focusing on two screens depicting a fully digital environment, but the screens are positioned in very close proximity to your eyes while simulating distance virtually. With the human eye, your lens shapes itself to focus on different objects while the rest of the world blurs. This helps your eyes focus on the target object while reducing eye strain. As you get older, the lens hardens and makes it more difficult to quickly focus on objects that are too near or too far. When this happens, if something's too close to read, it's going to hurt your eyes. That's why you see as people age, they have to start holding things out further to read them comfortably. The current lenses in XR headsets are fixed focus, kind of like the aged eye, only instead of taking a longer amount of time to shift focus, it's unable to shift the focus at all. And this causes eye strain as our actual eyes are working harder to try to shift focus on objects in digital space. It gets even trickier when you get into augmented and mixed reality environments, since you need to be able to switch your view between the content on the head-mounted display, those two screens that are close to your eyes simulating distance, and the real-world objects that are at varied distances in your surroundings. I personally can't use headsets like the Magic Leap because they don't allow any room for eyeglasses, and contacts aren't an option for me for multiple reasons. So not only can I not see what's on the screens in the digital space, now I also can't see what's in the world around me. Yes, they do offer prescription inserts, but they're limited in prescription range and only support single vision, meaning no support for bifocals, trifocals, or progressives. The VIVE Flow VR headset has built-in adjustable diopter lenses, which is a very interesting alternative that has a lot of potential. However, again, they're limited in prescription range and only support single vision correction, meaning, again, no support for bifocals, trifocals, or progressives, thus rendering them at best suboptimal and at worst unusable for a large population of people. So you want to seriously consider this when you're evaluating which headsets are the best to use for your target audience and the experience. Tech companies such as CREAL are working on ways to simulate real-world depth of field in real time by tracking your eyes and digitally focusing on that area or that object, much like the human eye would naturally behave. This will reduce the risk of eye strain, and the digital vision correction it offers will also increase the scalability and affordability of XR eyewear, since it would reduce the need for custom prescription lenses in each headset. The technology is still in the works and is not currently on the market. So what do we do in the meantime? I would recommend that you evaluate the hardware to ensure a person can wear their own eyeglasses comfortably within the headset. Also, ensure that the hardware doesn't cause a risk of damage to the eyeglasses while wearing, putting on, or taking off the headset. And watch closely for signs of eye strain or headaches within your target audience. They'll often say that it's fine when they're actually just trying not to inconvenience others. Depending on where the content is placed in relation to the location of the progressive or bifocal portions of eyeglass lenses, the digital content may not be visible or legible at all. So you'll want to avoid designing solutions that stick UI elements to something like a game HUD that moves when you move your head, since besides the impulse of trying to swat the elements away like a fly, this treatment is counterproductive to people who wear bifocals or progressives. Go ahead and take advantage of all of that awesome 3D space that you have access to. So for a quick recap, don't ignore eyeglasses. Research the target audience to determine how the hardware and eyeglasses will affect their ability to use the solution. Make sure eyeglasses fit under the headset. Ensure the hardware doesn't risk damage to the eyeglasses. Place elements in 3D space so people can move their heads to focus on them. It's important to remember that these best practices will change as the technology advances, resolutions increase, and the lenses are able to digitally correct depth of field and vision more effectively. It's also important to remember that UX is not just the digital experience that you're creating. It encompasses all aspects of the experience, including the hardware and the needs of the human beings who use the technology.